You think your kung fu is strong? Try my doom kick style. Hooah!
And we're back, continuing talking about Zola World and Realm of the Underworld. Now, you do all this, you are Zola World, but there is a lot of other artists and
of course,
other people involved, so, let's talk about some of those guys.
Sure. A lot of people are involved. Especially like in every process that we do, there's the paint masters, there's sculptors, and stuff like that. Just first and foremost, my mom is one of the biggest contributors, actually the biggest contributor to Realm of the Underworld. What she does all the sculpt work that you're seeing, not all of it, okay? Most of the sculpt work that you're seeing with a lot of the stuff is my mom, and the paint. All the paint masters
too,
all the paint masters that you're seeing on these figures, except for Gate Knight sitting right here, as far as I know, is her. Yeah, is my mom. So that's actually really wild that she been just goes and does all this different stuff. Like you'll see it on the different figures. And all. You'll see like the different paint schemes, and I get surprised a lot of times too. Yeah. So I'll tell her, okay, Mom, look, this is what I'm looking for with the figure. It's the creation of it, and this is what it looks like. And I want a figure with bones on them, or I want on the flexor, I want it to be bones, and I want this head to look like this and this and that, and just knocks it out of the park. I come back and I'm floored. Like I'm just floored.
I mean, these paint masters, they look awesome.
Like even like with the just give you a brief incident with the slime drones here with this guy over here in clear.
That teal and yellow everyone seems to be freaking out about since I took a picture of
it. Oh yeah, right. Yeah. So it was really funny is that color scheme was something that I didn't even mention. She's just like, here, I just thought it looks cool. I thought it looked cool, Mike. And then take a look. Cool. And I think it does. And it was something that we're tossing around the idea of possibly doing it. The more people that they give the feedback for, we probably will. You
heard it. Give your feedback.
Yeah. So outside of my mom, there's many other artists and people involved. Like there's Chris Capana that is actually involved in the comic book, and he did the as you can see, like the battle at the gate, which was the the initial front of the cards that we're looking at. And then that's going to change actually to Neil Adams' artwork in Wave 3, and we're actually working on another artist right now, and we're trying to work out the details and everything like that. So when it's finalized, everybody's going to see like the actual picture. But I don't want to tease too far ahead, because you keep on going too far ahead, then people are going to forget about what's behind.
Yeah, people get a little fed up.
Yeah, we have 15 waves planned already for these characters. The idea is going to be that, and probably once we hit 15, we're going to have 30, and 40. You know what I mean? Like, we're just constantly expanding and all these different new characters and stuff like that. So the slime drones was something that we just wanted to toss in. So you know what? This is such a cool concept. And it's funny because, like, even Ben Spencer from Nerd City, right? He came out and he's like, dude, bones on a figure would be awesome. And I was like, yeah. And then all these people throw out all these ideas. And, you should do this, or you should do this.
Well, it's like that old, what is it? Is it Skull Force?
Skull Force. Yeah, Skull Force.
I keep calling it Skeleton Force.
Skull Force. Great line of action figures. And, it's action figure, I should say. Like, I'm sitting there with action figures. Yeah, it's a toy collector. Yeah, dude. It'd be cool. So it was a bulbous head, okay? And it was... I think everything's modeled off of like a Scareglow. Like that's what I think. Like a lot of that stuff was modeled off of Scareglow, or modeled off of something very close. Because at the time, you got to figure that was a dollar store toy.
Yeah,
and you're just like, wow, how did I miss that? And a lot of people were, I never frequented dollar store toys because I never thought for sure that because you would see like a small figure, you know what I mean? But this is like, years ago.
Well, there was back in the day. There was a million He-Man imitators, for lack of a better word. And it's like everyone wanted a piece of that pie.
Sure.
But but Remco, I feel like, just did it better with the ball joint legs and
the ball joint legs. They never had interchangeability to it though. Because you'd probably snap it if you.
Well, they didn't have that punch action either, which I think is better.
It's patented. That's patented action.
Well, I think it's better because you could actually pose them.
I liked it that way. It's definitely true. I liked it that way, and I also like the fact that, like, just do like you said with the ball joints. But then we just took it a step further and just made the whole thing interchangeable: the arms, the legs, the head. You know what I mean?
that's the way to do it.
But you were talking about the artist, and I want to get back on that.
Before we get too
yeah,
off
sure.
that tangent.
So we have Scott West, as you've seen here, with the a lot of the stuff. Scott is actually involved in a lot of things. Like he was involved in the comic, as you can see, the face of the comic.
Yep.
Okay, that you saw there. He did that, and he also did the you know, as far as like you know, the realm of the underworld posters that you see here. And
Yep.
he actually approached me with this, and it was real funny. And he said, excuse me, he was like, you know, I really dig your stuff. This is really cool, and I like to, you know, see
Yep.
this stuff advance, and I'd like to support you and this and that. And when you came through and he did this, I was just floored. I just loved it.
This poster is awesome.
Yeah,
man.
I actually have a painting of this. It's just,
Oh,
it's
wow.
insane, you know. But yeah, it's really cool, like his style. And I told him, I said, you know, going back a little bit, because he's very busy. He's a very
Yep.
busy guy, you know, and dynamite guy too, which is really
Yep.
cool, really cool guy to talk to, and fellow toy collector at that.
Yep.
So that's where you get caught up with. You start talking about a project and you get sidelined, and you just
Yeah.
start talking about all this different
Yep.
stuff, sort of like us, you know.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And for Chris Facone as well, you know, I'm just saying. I'll get to him in a
Facone is
second.
an
Yeah.
amazing artist.
He's fantastic, but I'll get to him in a second.
Yep.
So yeah, Scott is going to actually be involved in more projects with Realm of the Underworld,
good.
and we're working on, you know, at least 3 to 4 projects is going to happen outside of the next one, because we're shooting with getting him involved, and you know, we'll talk about that right after
Yep.
the slime drones. But what leads me into the next thing is the you know, the slime drones is the next project
Yep.
that we're doing, and Chris Facone is actually handling all the artwork to the
Yeah,
line.
I've seen
So
some of that, and
it is
once you
mind-blowing.
guys see this, your head is going to explode.
Yeah, he's great. Just to look at and the ideas that he tosses across. I
Yep.
mean, it's like the first thing. All right, he's like, okay, dude. Well, how about if we did this, and we just made the guy like slimed, and then and Chris gets into this stuff,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
mean, you know, and the way he's into it, it's just like I want to collect that figure now. I'm like, oh my god, dude, you're getting me excited.
I gotta buy this.
You know, and I'm like, you know, I'm ready to like, you know, just go crazy, like listening to him talking. And I'm
Yep.
like, oh yeah, you know, it was just like you're ready to do a movie, and then you got to keep on changing the movie. Oh no, we got to reshoot that movie because we got to put this in it, or you know, like
Yep.
so you want to keep on just getting it better and better, and that's the way Chris is. It's like, dude, we should do this with the box,
Yep.
and then we should do. So we had the whole box finalized. I just like, you know, had all the dimensions and everything already done, and Chris comes to me and he's like, dude, we should put a flap on it, dude. Put a flap on the top of it, dude. You don't understand. I want to hang it up on my shelf, dude. And I'm like, my God, he has a point.
Yep.
So here it goes again, you know, the redesign of all this,
Yep.
and then he's, you know, going to town on the drawing. Oh, dude, it's like, so what the finished product that you're going to see is like a collaboration of like all these different ideas, but like it's like Chris is taking all these ideas and putting them into this box that
Yep.
what I would consider is his design.
Yep.
Like he's putting it together, and like even though it's to our direction and saying,
Yeah.
hey, look, you know, this is what we're looking for. He's knocking it out of the park because
Yeah.
of all the different stuff. And he's like, dude, how about the logo? And how about, and you saw the Slime Drones logo.
Oh yeah,
So
it
you know what I
looks-
mean?
It looks awesome.
So that was the fun part of that.
Yep.
And, you know, so and Chris is involved in a lot of other stuff too. It's not just going to be Slime Drones. We're looking at doing, you know, a ton of different things
Yep.
with him, you know, as well. And he's super excited, you know, and I'm super excited to have him involved. And it's really cool. I mean, how everything kind of developed and everything is getting
Yeah.
together now.
Yep.
And you know, it's an upswing, you know, like I always say, it's like a battle, and you keep on fighting your way up,
Yep.
you know what I mean, like trying to get everything done. And I don't mean like, you know, like a competition type thing. It's
yeah.
not. No, I mean it's just a battle to get this stuff out. You
Yep.
know what I mean, and get it going. You know.
I mean, I go through the same thing with Doomkick, with the slimes. With,
Oh my God.
With this video, I mean,
Yeah.
I've been on a plane for hours at this point.
Of
Today,
course,
coming back
yeah.
to reshoot this because that's what you got to do.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that. You know, and I see myself, you know, like I'm constantly back and forth in different locations. Like you know, we have the warehouse here that you're in the shop,
Yep.
Zolo World, the store,
Yep.
okay? And this is like now the front and center of the store when you
Yep.
when you come in and see this in our, what I would consider my collector circle, you
Yep.
know, like of my
Oh, yeah.
favorite stuff, you know?
Yep.
And so when you're coming in, you actually have like this display, but
Yep.
yeah, so getting involved also, like there's many other people that's involved in this, you know, so we have, let's just start with like wave 3, and before anything, and another thing I never mentioned either, and I really think that I should throw it out there, and even in the last interview, I'm kind of glad that I'm able to remember this. The character's name Crisis, okay? I sat back on the phone with my buddy Craig from Thunder Props, okay? And we were talking, me and Craig talk ever so often, you know what I mean? Now it's been like really tough because he's, you know, just working all the time. Dude. All right? So like, honestly, we're sitting back and forth and like, man, I got this character, dude, and he's like a zombie barbarian. Excuse me. And this is what this dude, like, he's going to go through all these trials and these different things, and he's the hero. And at the end, he's going to die, but he's still going to become this, like, great hero. You know, and it's least expected how the twist of the story is. And what do you think? And dude, I got it. I got the perfect name, dude. I was like, Crisis. And I'm like, oh my God! Like, that instant, I coined it. Like, instantly I coined it. Crisis. Like, like this zombie barbarian, you know what I mean? It's going to have all this story. So it's a great name, and, you know, that's real crazy. So when it came down to the slime drones, I was like, dude, so here we go with the, these different things. And, we started talking about, like, the slime drones, and even before the slime drones, actually, and I know I'm going off of a tangent here, and I do that a lot. Oh yeah, okay?
I'm aware.
He actually sends me, and he takes a picture, because I sent him a bunch of figures. And he's like, dude, here, and he sends me this picture of this guy right here, right? He's like, dude, I got something here, and I want you to picture this now. And he's like, this guy is a gate, all right, in human form. He's like this evil gate in human form, okay? And think about Halloween, dude, and think about Halloween colors. And I was like, okay. And he sends me this picture, and he hit Halloween, like, perfectly. You know, like, the jewel, you know what I mean? Like, well, this isn't supposed to look like...
girls coming out.
It's supposed to be like bones, actually. It's holding that thing in place, right? So it's like all this different stuff, and having the interchangeability to it, and having all that different feature, and then wrapping the chains around him. I'm like, oh my God. When I pull that figure out, there's a spider on his back.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's an old, like, 80s spider. It's like, I love it. The character is great. But Craig came up with, like, he would just sit there and be like, oh, okay, this is what this is. Yeah, and he's, his great friend. We think so much alike. It's just so funny. But, and real quick, I'll just get into Flexors, and we'll talk about these other guys here. But, not Flexors, but the slime drones. The character, the Crisis character. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, dude, Crisis, like, what would be awesome? And he's like, you remember Crystal Pepsi?
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
So he's just like, dude, come on, man. You know this. Crystal Crisis, dude. I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. It's like totally 80s, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, and then and then that's when I was like, oh, dude, Toxic Terror Hercules, and then like Sinister Sludge Arc Fiend. So he's like, oh, dude, you're hitting him now. You're hitting him. This is good.
You're firing on all cylinders.
And he was Death Bile Acromancer. He's like, dude, well, you got to do Death Bile Acromancer. And he made it as a joke. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to do it. Like, Death Bile Acromancer is a definite. You know what I mean? So when you see the colors on the thing, it's awesome. So I take the renditions. Like, I'm taking these characters, right? And like with Hercules, I wanted to make it like the toxic colors. But we're going to get back into that. And again, we're just talking about like the artists, and I don't want to leave out people. So Joe Amato did the head to Grim the Executioner, and he also did the shield that's up there for General Gracious. Joe is actually going to be involved in a few other projects as well, outside of Realm of the Underworld, but he's also involved in Realm of the Underworld. So Joe is going to be showing some things off.
Joe is a great sculptor, a great dude. You've seen him. He's doing slimes with me.
Fantastic guy. As a matter of fact,
coming soon.
There you go. Yeah. Oh, more so, Wes. Yeah, it is coming soon. Yeah, absolutely. I think we have one of your dudes in there actually right here.
Yep. There's an Algor right there, chilling with the prototype heads.
Yeah, there he is, just hanging in there. But Joe's great. We talk on the phone also. Talking about and collaborating with this stuff, and but it's for me, it's tough to like keep in touch with everybody. You know what I mean? It's involved. So I always try to like at least throw something out there. Like I'd call up Capana every once in a while and be like, "Hey, Chris, how's it going, dude? Sorry, I've been out of touch. We were just juggling so much stuff. Between Protective Cases, running Zola World, and doing the action figure thing, and planning for other projects on top of it, and then doing the vintage toy thing now. You know what I mean? Because we're expanding our vintage toys, to worldwide on the website. So that's another thing that we are going to be seeing in the coming weeks is that our inventory is going to keep on moving, and we're doing a lot of that. We're trying to build up the inventory a whole lot more, and have so much stuff that we have to put out there.
Crazy amounts of stuff here.
Thanks. The neat thing is there. So Joe, is involved in that. He's going to be actually doing some more stuff for Wave 4.
Yep.
That we're looking at. So and you're seeing like some of the Wave 3 characters here, which is the Cyclops. Those who know him, Tyke is a dynamite guy.
Yep.
All right. A dynamite guy. I mean, I met him at PowerCon the first year. And he was all about the action figures. He loved this stuff. And so did Ben, actually. Ben was actually really cool with the stuff, too. And
Ben loves that. He doesn't want a figure unless it has squat legs and muscles. Pretty much is Ben's whole deal.
Yeah, I like that that style. Like, like I think it goes a little further. Like myself personally, I know he wasn't a fan of the straight legs. Like Ben was like, "What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? If I catch you at a convention, I'm gonna knife you." Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, one of these days, I'm sure I'm gonna catch Ben at the one of the bars at one of these conventions, and we're gonna hang out. Mark my words. Even if you try to avoid me, I'm gonna follow you.
We'll all be catching.
Yeah, yeah. So, but anyway, it's like you come down and you check out. Like the different sculpts that Tyke has done.
Yeah.
He's actually done the, one of my all-time, when I was growing up, I used to collect Black Star, as you know, and that's...
we got some close-ups of those coming, too, so...
And he did the Black Star stuff, like, he did, all the different Black Star characters in the Zola World Interchangeable Bodies.
Yep.
Well, the first thing he said to me is, who would you like to have done? And I had a childhood character, and if you can remember Neptune, the character Neptune, I asked him to make me, because I always known him because I used to look in the store and I used to see Zork on the store.
Yep.
So I'm like, well, that's Zork. Like, I used to call him Zork. That was my childhood figure of Zork. That's what I would call him. So he was like, I can make that. What color you want him? And I'm like, and he shows, how he goes with his Pantone colors. He's like, how about this or how about this? And he matches that color. I mean, if you're thinking, well, maybe if it's a combo in between, no, you got to make sure that you're gonna hit that. And he did. He knocked it out of the park. When I saw that figure, it's like it was the aquamarine blue. I mean, well, he got the aquamarine blue one, and I got like a deep blue one. And it's just awesome. And he's like, no, you can't have that at PowerCon. I want to take that one back. so that and he's dynamite. And he actually did the head right here in the center. He didn't even know he did the head in the center here because he sent it to me and he goes, what would you like? He shows me these heads and he sculpted this thing and he sends it. He's like, yeah, I want that head in the center. He's like supposed to be off the Spectratron Death War head. You know what I mean? And I wanted to do something that was quite similar because we're using a lot of the same type of stuff. You know what I mean? So when he came through and he shows me this head, I'm like, dude, I want that. So my mom paints it. Yep. I didn't even see it until like near New York Comic Con. We're about to do New York Comic Con, and this is the flexor here. And like if anybody didn't realize it, like I know it's set aside from this, but like the paint schemes and everything. Yep. So that head goes on the Archfiend body because we're going to do two different colors. There's going to be a red and there's going to be the black one. So the red's going to have the black bones and the black is going to have the white bones, like you see here. But so he designed this. He actually sculpted this head for me. And I said, hey man, he goes, dude, oh my god, that flexor is awesome. At the very beginning I wasn't totally into it, but now, oh dude, it's awesome.
That's the way I reacted to him too, man. You got to see these flexors in person.
That's it. I mean,
let's take a quick break.
Okay, sure.
We'll be right back and with more.
Welcome to Ask Al Gore. I'm your host, Prince Al Gore, and today's guest is Petey the Ghost. Petey, where are you, buddy? Oh, I'm right here, Al Gore. Well, you have no mouth, and that is really creepy, dude. What did you expect? Ghost? We don't have mouth, man. Well, I guess that's true. So, are you going to ask me any questions, or are we just going to stand here all day? Right. The questions, yes. How big is the Empire State Building in New York City? That's your question? Do you know how much work and effort it is to put these together? It's a lot of work. And you're asking me how big the Empire State Building is? Here, it's 87,120 feet. Anyone with a phone can look that up. And you're asking me questions like this? Toron, turn the cameras off. We're done here. We're done.
Not so fast, Hercules. The battle had just begun.